Well. It's noon on a Saturday, and it's just me and you because there's only you and me here. But you know what? I'm still going to do a show with my voice like this. Good afternoon. Welcome to Saturday Night Live, but not quite the Saturday Night Live as you would know it. I got my reparations coffee in a special holiday cup. And I don't know really what I'm here to do today. We're gonna do the normal Saturday thing where I've got a few stories here I want to go through, and we'll see who shows up. It's kind of one of those things. Good morning, Sheagrath. You get the bell. Hopefully that didn't wake up Lady Boomer who's trying to sleep. But anyway, I'm glad you're all here. I'm just gonna jump into it. Hey, how you doing, Maniac Man? I see you here too. This is kind of some impromptu Saturday thing. I had to work this morning and figured I'm just gonna get on the old inner tubes. Hey, how you doing, Renovasio? Good morning. I'm glad you're here. So, today I just, like I said, I've got a few stories. I was going to go through some things. I saw this picture though, when I was, here, let me hit the share screen here. So this picture came up with Joe Biden on his No Malarkey tour. And, people have been asking him some uncomfortable questions. And it's kind of a weird that he doesn't have, is a little more prepared for this kind of thing because you know that people are going to be asking him about his son and about the deal with Burisma, and you know it's the No Malarkey tour, but it's becoming the Malarkey tour. But before we get into that, um how about I play the intro? Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night. All right, I'm back. So, good morning, Rolling Bear. How you doing? When I started setting this up, I was gonna just do some funny stories, which I do have some funny stories today, like I always do on Saturdays. Usually it's kind of lighthearted stuff you don't see every day. But then I ran across this article on Joe Biden because it made it really, I don't know, it got me to thinking about what he's doing. Okay. And wait, hang on a second here. I gotta just do something real quick. All right, we got some things here. Okay, so I got this. So the story on Joe Biden, right? And I just can't figure out why he doesn't have an answer to this. So this Politico article popped up as I was going through trying to find some more lighthearted stories. People have real questions about this Hunter Ukraine questions cloud Biden's tour. And Joe Biden has two methods of responding to questions about his son's controversial business dealings in Ukraine: denial and anger. But so far, Biden doesn't have a clear and cogent message. And Iowa voters are starting to take notice. Well, I think a lot of people are starting to take notice that he doesn't have an answer for this. I think this whole impeachment episode, it's almost like when the Roadrunner is running around and Wile E. Coyote's out there trying to set all these traps and setting bombs off, and it always just seems to blow up in the Wile E. Coyote's face. Well, the Democrats are kind of doing the same thing, and it's hurting Joe Biden now. So far, Biden doesn't have a clear and cogent message, and Iowa voters are starting to notice, especially after his fiery encounter Thursday with a retired farmer who advanced and here it is. See, now this is Politico again. They're all playing they're all playing, what's the word? They're all trying to protect him by adding in extra words. They add in who advanced the unfounded claim that the former vice president played a role in landing his son a job at a Ukrainian oil or Ukrainian gas company. Now, yes, the way the guy worded it made it sound like Joe Biden went and found him that job, and there's no evidence to do that, just to prove that. But he clearly got the job because of his name. So that's a weird way to put it. Anyway, Biden was forced Friday to address the confrontation, which he called the voter a damn liar and even challenged him to a physical fitness contest after the 83-year-old man said that the 77-year-old Biden was too damn old to be president. I probably shouldn't have challenged him to push-ups, Biden told reporters when asked about the run-in, but he denied that Iowans want to talk to him about his son, Hunter Biden, and the overseas business deals. We've had over 2,000 people show up on this trip. On a bus trip? That's all in Iowa? You've only had 2,000 people show up? and no one has done it except that fella. Biden told the reporter briefly after an event Friday morning at Cedar Rapids, it's going to be part of what is the opposition's case. You've done a bad thing and so to so-and-so. It's just not true. Trump's already spending $12 million to try to make the same message, and there's nothing to the message. Well, there's something to the message. Otherwise, people wouldn't be talking about it. And you know what? People, you might as well find out how you figure out how you're going to answer it. The problem for some, however, isn't the president's attacks, which many Democrats dismiss out of hand. It's Biden's response. I hit the ding, but I don't. That's anyway. To voters like Carol Wicke, a 78-year-old Cedar Rapids Democrat who is undecided in the race and attended a Biden event in her hometown, the candidate isn't explaining enough. He needs to be prepared to answer questions about it, and I don't think he is. I don't think he's come up with an answer, she said. Loving his kid to death and not doing anything wrong is not an answer. And I, as someone who thinks he's a really decent human being, when I first started hearing about the Hunter connection, it bothered me. I wanted an answer because it doesn't look good. It's a bad perception. Well, yeah, it's a bad perception. That puts it mildly. It looks like corruption, nepotism. It just doesn't look good. Democrat voter Ann Gibney said she didn't like Biden's exchange and said he should explain more about Hunter. You know, does any of you see this playing out well for Biden? Him trying to explain this thing? Is there any way he can explain this away? I just don't think there is. He shouldn't act like Trump. We don't need that, she said. I don't like what Trump is doing at all concerning his unproven claims. There they go again. She didn't say this, but this is how they interpret it. This is Politico. Concerning his unproven claims about Hunter Biden and Ukraine. But some people have real questions about this, and he needs to respect that. In his most extensive remarks yet with reporters about his son, Biden addressed the concerns Friday evening by pointing to an October ABC interview with his son where he expressed regret. Well, you shouldn't have to express regret if there's no problems, right? But the conflict of interest has always been there. They were asked about that in 2014 when he became part of this board of directors, whatever. Why is my phone ringing? That's not good. I'm going to click that off. Hunter Biden spoke publicly about it, Joe Biden said. He said that in retrospect, if he had thought about what was going to happen, how it was going to be handled by Giuliani and company, he wouldn't have done it. Well, let's see. He shouldn't, if he knew let's see. If he had thought about what was going to happen, how it was going to be handled, well, why would it have to worry about it? It doesn't matter what Giuliani and company does with it. It's the fact that it's an ethical issue. It's a conflict of interest. It does not look good. And you thought you'd be protected forever by the Democrats. That's what was going to happen, that the Democrats can't protect you from this one because Trump doesn't play games the way everyone else does. All right. The appearance looked bad and he acknowledged it. And that's it. And that's all I'm going to talk about. Well, I doubt it. I think you're going to have to talk about it more. If you are the presumptive presidential nominee for the Democratic Party, I got a feeling you're going to have to talk about this more than once, probably in more than one debate. Probably they're going to figure out, what did you actually do here? This is silly. Anyway, I'm not going to read any more. He's going to have to come up with some answers. That's the bottom line, and that's just how it is, right? Right? You feel me? Oh, by the way, so let's now. There's only a few of you here, and part of that is probably because one, I don't know how quickly notifications go out for my videos, and two, I didn't tweet this out. So if anyone wants to tweet this out, that'd be great. You can hit the share button down below. You can do all kinds of things. So you can. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. Is Alex still streaming? I probably should have waited till Alex was done. I know we have a lot of the same audience. Let me see here. Is Alex still streaming? I bet he is. Yes, I know it's December 7th. That's my next story. Okay. Oh, C. Thomas. I just saw you over at Alex's place. And Alex, let's see. Let me check her out. Oh, he is still streaming. Okay, well, that's okay. Here, let me do something real quick. I'm gonna put a message over there. If he's wrapping up, here, let me pause here. Okay, why isn't the chat here working? Okay. Let's see. Good morning, MC. Good morning, Judge Death. Oh, all right, cool. I'm not sure who Judge Death is. That's the first time I've seen your name, but you're here, and I'm trying. Okay, I gotta take the mute on Alex's stream. He's wrapping up over there, so it's all good. All right, all right. Let's get into what I really wanted to show today. It is. Where is it? Oh, I have it. What? Oh no! What happened to it? Oh shoot. Well, anyway, today is December 7th. It is Pearl Harbor Day. There's a different name for this holiday, though. In fact, let's just go onto Twitter because it has the particular name for it. Oh gosh, it's not even trending anymore. Oh, there it is. Oh, did I hear that wrong? Here we go. All right. This is what I wanted to put on the screen. And we'll put this. Today is National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. It's December 7th. I believe it was 78 years ago. Yeah, 78 years ago. Where Pearl Harbor was attacked. December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor and 6 other military bases on the Hawaiian island of Oahu were attacked, beginning U.S. involvement in World War II. Today, remember those those lost, and are reminded of America's resilience and resolve in the years following. So lots of people tweeting about that. Let's see. Remember and honor all men and women who gave their lives for the attack of Pearl Harbor. They got a little typo there. December 7th, 1941. Here's one of the memorials. It says, remember Pearl Harbor, a day that will live in infamy. December 7th, 1941. Casualties. Army lost 218 killed and 364 wounded. Navy 2008 killed, 710 wounded. Marines 109 lost, 69 wounded. Civilians 68 lost and 36 wounded. So we try to, always try to keep up on that. Hello, Keeverdom. That's another new name. I'm starting to see some new names up here. Let's see. I got a notification on the old tweeters here too, real quick. You guys don't need to see that. So let's see here. I've got. Oh, thank you, Shiagrath, for tweeting out the show, and somebody else did. So thanks, everybody. I'm gonna just retweet this myself. Let me do this. All right, I'll retweet Shiagrath since I didn't do it myself. All right, so let's see. Also, let's see. C. Thomas is also on December 7th, and days after, Japan hit most of our military bases in the Pacific as well. Yeah, it was. We had the reason we needed to get into the war. I know there's some various conspiracy theories about that, and but in any case, our involvement in World War II was very important for the world. So we're you don't want to be. I don't want to say we're glad that had happened. I'm glad that we were able to be a part of a joint effort to push back those forces that could have been a real problem for the world and would have been and were a real problem for the world. So we're fortunate there. All right, now let's get into some of the other things I pulled up today. So the other day, if you're familiar, there was a UPS driver in Florida that our entry into World War II was about. Yeah, it was. It was. And we needed to be in it anyway. So the other day there was a shootout in Florida. There was a UPS truck that was hijacked, and they've identified the driver who was killed. I pulled this up just because, one, I work for UPS, and so it's, within the company, it's, we kind of mourn the death of one of our own. UPS driver killed in armed robbery, chase, and shootout, identified as a young father. In Miramar, Florida, family members and friends are mourning the loss of a UPS driver and young father killed after being taken hostage by two armed robbers in Miramar. WFOR reported the name of the driver as Frank Ordonez, one of four people killed in the incident. His brother told CBS Miami he'd been with UPS for the past 5 years. However, Thursday was Ordonez's first day as a UPS driver. UPS released a statement regarding the incident, saying the company is providing assistance to the family and counseling for his coworkers. And here's the statement from UPS. Last night in the Miami area, we tragically lost a valuable member of the UPS team, our driver Frank Ordonez, who joined UPS in 2016. This senseless act of violence has impacted many on a personal level. Our deepest sympathies go to Frank's family and friends and the other innocent victims of this heartbreaking incident. Now, innocent victims, do I sound funny? Is it just because my voice is so low today? I don't know. Maybe that I might sound funny. Good morning, Dave, by the way. I haven't said, I'll say goodbye. Good morning to everybody in a minute. Let's see. We are providing assistance to the Ordonez family and counseling for Frank's coworkers and employees in the Miami area. Please continue to keep them in your thoughts and prayers in the days ahead. The thing is, the other victims, there was one passerby who died, and then the two guys who had hijacked the van. And it's a really weird thing because I sound mellowed out. Well, I am mellowed out. I am quite mellow today. I know that. In fact, I was thinking of one of these days I'm going to do a whole show as an ASMR. Is that what it's called? Whatever the whispering thing. Shiagrath, you did a season with UPS. Yeah, it's no joke. It can be quite a taxing job. It's funny. I started with them 15 years ago, and when my first 2 months there, I worked unloading trailers. And I lost 30 pounds in 2 months. I mean, it's crazy. But oh, no Saturday Fun because I'm not using Streamlabs today. I'm actually using StreamYard. I was planning on having some guests this morning. That's why there's no funk. So unfortunately, there'll be no music. I do, and yes, Diesel Dave, I do have a bit of a cold, but that's not it. It's mostly just because it's morning, or not morning, but I haven't talked. I haven't talked a whole lot today. And when I don't talk a whole lot in the morning, my voice is really low. Plus, I'm staying a little bit quiet because my wife was up really late last night and she's sleeping. And so if I talk too loud, it'll wake her up. Anyway, all right, let's get back into this though. Ordez leaves behind a 1-year-old daughter. Oh, it's just so sad. The ordeal began as an armed robbery and possible shooting at Regent's Jewelers at Coral Gables on Thursday afternoon. A female employee suffered injuries in the armed robbery. Police said the armed robbery suspects then carjacked a UPS truck as the driver was making deliveries. Police said the 2 armed robbery suspects stole a U-Haul truck before carjacking the UPS truck. A police chase ended with the armed robbery suspects and police exchanging gunfire at Miramar Parkway, just west of Flamingo Road, according to CBS Miami. 19 officers from 5 different agencies fired into the UPS truck. The number of shots fired could exceed 200 rounds. That's maybe they didn't know that the driver was in there. I don't know, but apparently the robbers, were firing at them. I don't know. The 2 armed robbers were killed. The FBI identified the pair as 41-year-old Lamar Alexander and 41-year-old Jerome Hill. Both are from Dade County. A civilian motorist was also killed in the shootout, who neighbors confirmed to CBS 12 News. Luli Ortez is Richard Cutshaw. So that's she basically reported that. And then we read the UPS statement. Unfortunately, because you can't hear my sound, you're not going to be able to hear the press conference. Yeah, you can't. Turn. And now it won't shut up. Hold on. There we go. All right. The FBI has taken the lead in the investigation, according to Miramar Mayor Wayne Messam, who spoke to CBS 12 news reporter James Torres on Friday. Just coming from the holidays to have the UPS driver, just coming upon the holidays and to have a UPS driver who's just making an honest living to take care of his family. I understand he's a young father who has children who won't see them this Christmas, and it's just very heartbreaking, Messam said. So very, very, very sad story. You just pray for the guy's family, and hope that I'm going to kind of keep on top of that a little bit just to see how UPS helps him out. But UPS is usually pretty generous to people who have either died while working, or it's very rare. Let's put it this way. But UPS is a good company to work for. So anyway, all right, moving on. If you're out buying a Christmas tree, a real one at least, apparently Christmas tree prices have risen because the supplies have been waning. And apparently the Great Recession 10 years ago is cited as a primary cause. Evansville, Indiana. People shopping for live Christmas trees this year may be experiencing some mild sticker shock. Supplies are tight, and that means prices are going up. Our price went up 25% this year, says Richard Villalota, an assistant scoutmaster for Boy Scout Troop 399, which sells Christmas trees every year in Evansville, Indiana. We tried to absorb the half of it, but we had to pass half. We had to pass. Okay, this is one of those editing things that drive me crazy on the internet. These people need editors. We tried to absorb half of it, but we had to pass on half the cost to the customers. Oh, I see what he's saying here. Moderately increasing tree costs are becoming a trend as prices have been inching up over the last couple of years. In 2017, the average price for an American tree was $75, according to the National Christmas Tree Association. In 2018, it was $78. The average 2019 price won't be available until after Christmas season, but across the country, vendors are reporting shorter supplies and higher prices. So you're just gonna have to, if you're into the real trees, you're just gonna have to suck it up and just spend a few more dollars. Um, anyway, all right. Before I go on, now my normal path on the Morning Night Lives is to say good morning to everybody. So I'm going to say good morning to everybody like I have, because when I did it earlier, it was just me and Sheograth. We are here all by ourselves for the first 3 or 4 minutes. So anyway, good morning, Sheograth, again. And you do get the bell, but I'll do it quietly because Lady Boomer is still sleeping. I don't know if you heard that, but I did ring it. Good morning, Maniac Man and Renovaccio, who I did say hi to earlier, and Rolling Bear. But Jaeger Pony, what's up? Yes, what the? Because you're wondering why I'm here. Well, it's a special edition of the Saturday Night Live. Good morning, Jaeger Pony. Good morning, Maniac Man, and C. Thomas, Judge Death, which that's frightening, but the name is catchy, and I give it a 5 out of 5. All right. Good morning, MC Hammer Time. And good morning, Keeverdam. Now that's a name, and that's one of those names I don't see. Maybe you lurk on normal days, or maybe you're new here. By the way, if you happen to be new here, first of all, welcome. And number 2, please make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell the little bell that says give me notifications. You got to click that too. And for all of you, this is my little shield thing down here. You can share the video. You can hit that arrow. You can like the video or like the stream, which if you're here, you'd probably like it. So just hit the like button, okay? And then if you want to do super chats or donate to the channel, you can do that through the Streamlabs link, which is in the description down below. It might show up in the chat every once in a while. It kind of does that very sporadically. I have it set to do it with the stream bot, but it doesn't always work. So especially when I use this thing. And then let's see, did I miss anybody? Good morning, Pirate Pete. Good morning, Diesel Dave. Good morning to okay, I think I hit everybody. Chicken Kiev. It's a combination of Kiev and Amsterdam. Oh, Kieverdam. Okay, kind of like Kiev as opposed to Kiev. Okay. Hi, Keeverdam. How you doing? All right. What else I got? It never fails. It just doesn't. So apparently the Army football team has made a blunder. Yes, the Army football team. Not the midshipman, that's the Navy. Army has apparently had to ditch their team slogan after discovering a link to a white supremacy group. Yes, we have to be careful of things we use as slogans, because we might be dog whistling to the white nationalists and white supremacists. Hello, Andrew Joyner. How you doing? The Army football program has stopped using a team slogan after it learned that the phrase's origin is linked to a white supremacist group. The team has been using the God forgives, brothers don't slogan, and even featured the phrase on a flag it would carry into games, according to ESPN. The phrase also appeared on some team-related merchandise. I don't even know how you can... there's everything. Yes. See, Thomas, you typed it probably 3 or 4 seconds before I said it. Everything is related to white supremacy. It's amazing. It's amazing. Oh, never mind. Officials at the military academy found out in September that the slogan had a connection to the Aryan Brotherhood, but the team was unaware of white supremacist ties. Athletic director Mike Buddy told ESPN that head football coach Jeff Monken notified the team after learning about the slogan's roots and told them it would no longer be used in any fashion effective immediately. It's embarrassing, quite frankly. Lieutenant General Darrell Williams, the superintendent of the United States Military Academy, told the news outlet, "We take stuff like this very seriously. Once I found out about the about this goofiness, I asked one of our most senior colonels to investigate. So apparently they did a 2-month investigation, right? And apparently the investigation found that the use of the phrase had nothing to do with the views or beliefs of white supremacist groups or any other disreputable organizations with which they might be associated, according to an executive summary of the investigation. So now that makes me wonder. So they said up here they were told it was associated with the Aryan Brotherhood, but their investigation said that it wasn't associated. The phrase had nothing to do with the views or beliefs of white supremacist groups or any other disreputable organizations with which they might be associated. So I'm not really sure which is true, but they stopped using it. The letters GFBD were initially placed on the upper lip of a skull and crossbones image used by the Black Knights football team, but the use of the flag featuring the symbol eventually stopped, but was brought back by Monken when he joined the program in 2014. Oh, I wonder, maybe. Do you think Monken's a secret? What's that thing Treat Nishido says? Do you think he's a suspected white supremacist? I don't know. Anyways, yes, everything and anything is racist. You have to put, and you have to point it all out. All right, real quick, I see Devil Fruit Zero's joined us. Good morning. And also Tales of Gore. Andrew Joyner, who I said hi to earlier. Grillin' Pirate Pete, how you doing? I'm glad you all are here. All right. What else I got? Oh, this is an interesting story. Oh, this is the Christmas tree one. I already did that one. Oh, this is weird. So in California, apparently the government claims that dirt is a pollutant. Dirt is dirty. California farmer fights government claim that dirt is a pollutant. No one told Jack LaPlante that he could be in violation of the Clean Water Act for farming his own land. That's mostly because federal law includes a clear exemption for normal farming activities, but it's also because the government officials LaPlante consulted didn't view overturned dirt that has been tilled and plowed as pollution. In 2016, the Army Corps of Engineers, which administers the Clean Water Act with the Environmental Protection Agency, began legal action against LaPlante for plowing he did in 2011. Let me give you those dates again. In 2016, the Army Corps of Engineers began legal action against LaPlante for plowing he did in 2011 to plant wheat on a ranch property he owned in Northern California. But in March 2012, LaPlante had sold the property located in Tehama County, about 4 miles south of the city of Red Bluff. Before plowing his field to plant wheat, LaPlante conferred in person with the Farm Service Agency in California, which is part of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. All of these government officials I spoke with, and they have all been deposed. They never once suggested that I go meet with the Army Corps of Engineers, LaPlante said in a phone interview with the Daily Signal. I asked them if it was okay to take this piece of land and grow wheat, and they all said it was okay, he recalled. Even today, you can go into these offices and they will not tell a farmer that he needs to go and see the Army Corps to farm his own land. Which makes no sense, and the Department of Agriculture doesn't understand any of it, and we are talking about the same federal government. LaPlante recalls visiting 4 different government folks with expertise in soil conservation, when he was researching the history of the farm. They all gave the same answer. They told me, Jack, if you'd like to go ahead and plant it the same way it's been planted in the past, go ahead. But if you want to go in and plant a permanent crop, then maybe we'll go back and study it. So I went ahead and planted 900 acres of wheat. Hey, Necro, how you doing? The legal complications began after he sold the property to Dort Nursery, a family-owned nursery operation based in Tehama County, California, which then encountered similar problems with the Army Corps of Engineers. So he sold the property. They said he could do it. Like the hell. Um, I'm trying to find here why they say he couldn't do it. So, um, okay, so Diversity Nursery entered into a settlement agreement with the federal government after suing the Army Corps of Engineers for denying due process. Pacific Legal Foundation, a nonprofit public interest law firm based in Sacramento, California, and Washington, D.C., represented the nursery in the case. So somehow, when he sold the property and they changed it, oh my God, I don't know. It's, that's just government for you. Too many. Okay. He didn't even own the property anymore. Oh my God. So, okay, Goose Pond Ag, a Florida-based farmland management company, purchased a portion of the California property from Dewart Nursery in 2012. 6 years later, in 2018, the company reached a settlement with the U.S. Justice Department in which it agreed to pay $5.3 million in civil penalties for Clean Water Act violations. Okay, it's the orchard planting and preparations for the orchard planting, which involves fairly substantial earthwork that really got the Army's attention and got this whole enforcement action going. Francois said, "That's what's odd about this is that they roped LaPlante into it. LaPlante didn't even own the property anymore." Oh my God. This month, Pacific Legal Foundation plans to submit a motion for a summary judgment to the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of California that could resolve some or all of LaPlante's case based on application of the law to the undisputed facts of the case. So he sold the land and they're trying to nick him for the year before he sold land. Okay. Oh gosh, they made that. Yeah, so that's just government, I guess. That's government for you. All right. Let's see here. Government upset man made a profit without getting a cut. That's all I can think of. But he planted 900 acres of wheat the way they said to do it. If you don't change your crop, you can do what you've been doing. He did it. Then he sold the property. So he didn't have to prepare the land for the orchards. That's the orchards company's fault. Why are they suing this dude? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Let's see. Judge Death, thank you. The God forgives brothers don't is actually used by the Aryan Brotherhood Texas, founded 1980-81, according to the SPLC. Okay. Interesting. And I'm pretty sure even, the fact that they still had to change it, they maybe came up with that, not knowing where the slogan came from. I don't know. Good morning, Mr. Scott, by the way. Hello. I see you popped in also. Anyway, yeah, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, we're going back to the Army football story. Hey, this one's a shocker. I'm sure all of you will be like, that's amazing. I didn't think this could ever be true, but apparently the FCC has decided or figured out that wireless carriers, your Sprint and Verizon and AT&T and all these other ones, apparently they don't tell the truth all the time, because the FCC says wireless carriers lie about coverage 40% of the time. Real world tests show that mobile speed and coverage maps are often more fantasy than reality. Wow. As someone who travels by car a lot, I can concur with this. Although, let's just say one thing. Where I live in the Midwest or middle part of America, Verizon is pretty damn reliable on the road. There's only, for example, I drive between here and Omaha quite a bit, 6-hour drive, and well, 5.5 really. But there is only one stretch of dead spot that's about a mile long along that entire stretch, which is really good. Now, if I drive from here to northern Minnesota, there is a little bit there's a little bit more more dead spots here and there. But anyway, let's see. The new FCC study confirms what most people already knew. When it comes to wireless coverage maps, your mobile carrier is often lying to you. If you head to any major wireless carrier website, you'll be inundated with claims of coast-to-coast uniform availability of wireless broadband. But as countless studies have shown, these claims usually have only a tenuous relationship to reality. Something you've likely noticed if you're ever driving across country or stopped by mobile carrier or stopped into mobile carrier forums. But just how bad is the disconnect? A new FCC study released this week suggests that wireless carriers may be lying about mobile coverage 40% of the time or more. The full study, part of the FCC's efforts to beef up wireless subsidies. Well, why do we have wireless subsidies? Beef up wireless. Oh, I see. In probably rural areas, they have wireless subsidies. That answers my own question. Ahead of 5th generation deployments, states that FCC engineers measured real world network performance across 12 states. Staffers conducted a total of 24,649 tests while driving more than 10,000 miles. And the results weren't pretty. Only 62% of staff drive tests achieved at least the minimum download speed predicted by the coverage maps, with U.S. Cellular achieving that speed only 45% of such tests, T-Mobile 63%, Verizon 64%. So, like I said, Verizon's fairly reliable compared to the others, I guess. I used to have Sprint, and sometimes I couldn't even use Sprint in my own house. Like, I would have to go outside and like half a block down the street sometimes just because that was so unreliable. But I'm pretty sure they've fixed a lot of their shit. But anyway, and while carriers have historically claimed they offer faster 4G LTE service to the vast majority of the country, the FCC found that wasn't actually true either. Staff was unable to obtain any 4G LTE signal for 38% of drive tests on U.S. Cellular Network, 21% of drive tests on T-Mobile, and 16% of drive tests on Sprint. Again, Verizon. So that's actually Verizon seems to work the most. That's good. All right. Anyway, so the cell phone companies lie. That's the headline. Let's see. It is because the regulations. Oh, I see. Oh, you're talking about. Okay, I see what you're talking about there. Have I heard of the Bloomberg interview? Restrictions and responsibilities. Oh, you're talking about the restrictions on the news coverage of Bloomberg? Yeah, we talked about that a little bit yesterday. Or Bloomberg, who owns Bloomberg News and the entire Bloomberg news organization, are restricting their reporting on Democratic candidates because he's now in the election. But and that includes any negative coverage of Democratic candidates. But of course, they're still allowed to report whatever they want on President Trump. And so, it's what's the name of the name of the place is called Bloomberg News. I'm sure they'll be slamming the president anyway. Have I talked about Nikki Haley's Confederate flag comment? I haven't. I just saw that yesterday. I might be able to find that. First of all, Media Matters lied about her, if you ask me. By the way, thank you, Pirate Pete and Judge Death, aka Richard, and Necrosoft for tweeting out the stream. I appreciate it. And let's see. Oh, we've got quite a few people in here. Okay, I haven't paid attention, but yeah, Nikki Haley yesterday. Let's talk about that, because I think that Nikki Haley, here we go. This dude from Media Matters actually did her dirty. Okay, here's his tweet. This really pissed me off. Thanks for bringing this one up. This one, and not because it pissed me off. I mean, thanks. I did want to talk about this one, and I hadn't yesterday. So he's saying, Nikki Haley says the Confederate flag was about service and sacrifice and heritage until Dylan Roof hijacked it. Now, all of those words were in what Nikki Haley said. But the implication, Jason Campbell's here. Now, let me remind you who Jason Campbell works for. Jason Campbell he's a researcher for Media Matters for America. Media Matter for America is formerly David Brock, who's a huge Hillary supporter. And here, let me see if I can even get more on, if their thing will pop up here. I'm sure most of you are familiar, but Media Matters for America is the nation's premier progressive media watchdog, research and information center. And here is MediaMatters.org. And let's see, it probably says, where's their, oh, it's not even on here. Basically, they spend their whole time slamming the right. Their mission, I wish I could find it here. Their mission is to do something with that right-wing media information. They're shitbags. I'm sorry. They are, anyway, let me get back to Nikki Haley. So this guy works for Media Matters for America, and she's making it sound like he makes it sound like she's speaking in support of the Stars and Bars. Now, well, here, let's read let's actually listen to the clip. Oh, you can't even listen to it. Can you? Damn it. You'll have to watch the clip for yourself. But the Reagan Battalion does a pretty good job of this. Nikki Haley is not saying that she believes that. She is saying what she said at the time when she ordered the removal of the flag. Remember, she removed the Confederate flag after that little Dylan Roof incident. Remember that? And so Media America's Jason Campbell is really lying. And Media Matters is a lying, misleading organization that needs to be destroyed. And it's funny. So these other people, the people who replied to this, saying the Confederate flag means hate. It's the reason Dylan Roof displayed it. Haley is preparing to run eventually for president. She's just another politician. Well, now she maybe misspoke when she said Roof hijacked it, okay? He didn't hijack it. He just used it as a purpose that some people see it as. Some people see it as, the South shall rise again and blah, 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 blah. But there's people in the South who didn't think of the Confederate flag that way. And I think it's the flag of the losing team, but it's also that flag existed before the Civil War. It was a company in Virginia, a military company. You know what I mean? It was their battle flag. There are people who see it as a heritage thing, and then there's some people who see it as a white supremacist thing, and that's unfortunate because it has dual purposes. And in fact, that is not the Stars and Bars is not actually the flag of the Confederate States of America. But whatever, I understand and I support them taking it down. Okay, because unfortunately, it is one of those symbols. But there is no place in here where Nikki Haley is defending the flag. Now, all she said that there's people who have a sincere there are people who see it as a racist symbol. There are people who sincerely see it as a symbol of Southern heritage, just being, that are not bad people. Remember how President Trump there are good people on both sides? Well, there are some good people who see that as just a symbol of Southern pride, Southern heritage, whatever you want to call it. In fact, there's black people who used to saw the stars and bars were Southern pride. Now that's weird to me, but I kind of get it, because that's, Sweet Home Alabama, baby, right? It's the cover of Leonard Skinner album. Okay. But anyway, they try to, this, Media Matters' job is to smear anyone on the right, and they know she's probably going to be a leading candidate for the Republican Party in 2024. Here's what she says about it. 2015 was a painful time for our state. The pain was and still real. Below was my call for the removal of the Confederate flag, and I stand by it. I continue to be proud of the people of South Carolina and how we turned the hate of a killer into love for each other. So, it's just one of those things that, this is a bullshit attack on Nikki Haley. And so that's my 2 cents on that. We're going to move on. Let's see. And we did the FCC. I don't care about the Christmas tree at Trafalgar Square. Oh, hey. Good morning. I she didn't hear me. I know I heard Laura. What? Oh, I said good morning. I thought you were talking to your friends. Oh no, I was talking to you. Oh, and Lady Boomer says hello, everybody. So everyone say hello to Lady Boomer. Wait, what? If it wasn't Confederate term, the Stars and Bars would be a great nickname for the U.S. flag. When you're trying to join the Mile High Club solo, are you hijacking it? Sheagrath always has the funny jokes. Okay. So apparently there's a guy in a pig mask terrorizing children over in Great Britain. Man in a pig mask keeps jumping out and scaring school children. A yob wearing a pig mask has been terrifying young children by accosting them outside several schools. Pupils as young as 3 years old have been left terrified by the creepy man who has been approaching them in the streets. Parents said local police had failed to take it seriously, and while it might sound like a harmless prank, it is seriously frightening young girls. Students are now being walked to school by their families in the Barnard's Green area of Malvern, Worcestershire. There are reports of Pigman targeting kids at 2 separate schools this week, and officials have written to parents to warn them. So, I think some parents should. There it is. There's the Pigman dude. They even got pictures of him. Mom Stacy Lee said her 11-year-old daughter Misha is now too scared to walk to school. Well, we need to. Someone needs to walk that kid to school with a baseball bat and see if he can knock a pig mask off some dude's head. Thank you. There are some hellos from Lady Boomer. She says, "Oh, hello." I think or sounded like that. So anyway, yeah, there's some knucklehead running around in a pig mask. That is kind of frightening. If anyone with information is asked to contact 101 quoting reference 422-31119. I think that's a phone number. I don't know. Anyway, so pig mask dude is scaring the hell out of people. Not to be outdone though. Here's hey, it's a great time to get into the holiday spirit. And good morning, Richo. It's a great time to get in the holiday spirit. And what better way to get into the holiday spirit than to wrap some gifts for your significant other? And so this man decided that he was going to wrap some things for his lovely bride Woman gets home to find asshole husband has covered kitchen in wrapping paper. A woman got a big surprise when she walked in her kitchen to discover that her husband had covered the entire room in Christmas wrapping paper, even individually wrapped the utensils. But I bet they didn't wrap any knives because you can't have knives over there. A Christmas prank was taken to extremes when a man got a little bit carried away with a roll of wrapping paper. Nicholas Mullen King from Newcastle got a shock when Nicola Mullen King from Newcastle got a shock when she returned home Monday and walked into the kitchen. That's because her husband Carl had covered the entire room in Christmas wrapping paper, including the fruit, chopping board, and utensils. The amusing act took him around 2 hours to complete, and it's fair to say that Nicola wasn't all that impressed with his work.
Don't do that.
I've just been told not to do it. Sharing snaps of her new kitchen on Facebook, she wrote, "My asshole of a husband came up with the bright idea to wrap part of the kitchen for Elf on the Shelf." Okay, so here it is. Oh, look at that. He wrapped the stove. He left the hood unwrapped, though. I'm not sure why. There it is. There's the kitchen wrapped entirely in paper. 2 hours later, and a divorce on the cards. It's done, including the fruit, eggs, utensils, and chopping board. Idiot even plugged the air freshener back in. Her post quickly went viral, garnering over 28,000 likes and more than 44,000 shares. Okay. Okay. Oh, there it is. See, he wrapped the fruit and whatever liquor bottle that was, and he wrapped the eggs individually. Hey, you know what? That looks like a nice gift. A whole new kitchen. Right? No. I think it's funny.
Last one I unwrap it, it's a brand new countertop.
Oh, okay. Okay. She says if she unwraps it and it's a brand new countertop, then it'd be okay. Here's one. Japanese man gets arrested after calling telecom provider 24,000 times to complain. Oh my goodness. Hello, Don Hayes. A 71-year-old pensioner from Saitama, Japan, was recently arrested and charged with obstruction of business after allegedly calling the toll-free number of his telecom provider a whopping 24,000 times over the last 2 years to complain about the service and demand apologies. In the month of October, Akitoshi Akamoto, a 71-year-old man from Kasukabe City, allegedly called the toll-free number of a Japanese telecom giant KDDI 411 times in a single week to complain about his phone not being able to pick up radio broadcasts. Over the last 2 years. Zombie Teddy says, "Hi, Lady Boomer." She says hi. Over the last 2 years, KDDI registered around 24,000 calls from Akamoto, which works out to an average of 33 calls a day. But the corporation had been reluctant to press charges until last week when the frequency of complaints became too much to bear. Getting 411 complaint phone calls from the 71-year-old over the course of a single week reportedly took a toll on KDDI call center staff, as well as interfered with their capacity to assist other company clients with their issues. Unable to find another solution, company representatives finally called police to help them handle the situation. Okay, let's just say now I don't know how this works. Did he not resolve the problem? Apparently not, but he's wondering why he's not getting radio reception over his phone. What was the complaint about? Let's see. That's too many calls. That's just too many damn calls. I'm just saying, you know. But the 71-year-old considers himself a victim. But the general reaction to his 24,000 complaints has been mixed. While some believe that corporations like KDDI could have handled the situation better, others are convinced that it was Akamoto that whoever reacted. He probably believes that he's the victim. It gives him the right to act horribly to other people, one Twitter user wrote. Seems like they should have reported him sooner, someone else commented. Well, that's just a random commenter here and there. That seals it for me. Some random Twitter commenter. I just think him calling 24,000 times. How could they not resolve it after 24,000 calls? I don't think he was trying to resolve it. I think he was trying just to be annoying. Akitoshi Akamoto's case is an extreme example of a problem that is bound to worsen in Japan in the years to come because of an increasingly older population. Technology giants have to dedicate more time to educating the elderly and also helping them with mundane tasks like sending emails or subscribing to streaming services. They could just do what everyone does on Twitter and just say, "Okay, boomer." 3 hardest things to say. I was wrong. I need help. Worcestershire sauce. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Scott. That's funny. All right. When okay boomer isn't enough. Yeah, that's a lot of calls. All right. What else I got? I got a couple more and we'll be done for the day. This is I don't know if anyone saw this or I haven't heard anyone talk about this story. Apparently, a woman was rescued from bath after getting stuck for 8 days. This probably doesn't happen at the. Did you hear hey, Lady Boomer? Huh? Did you hear the headline of this story?
What?
Woman rescued from bath after getting stuck for 8 days.
In the bathtub?
Yeah.
How do you get stuck in the bathtub?
Well, I don't know. I'm going to read it now.
Okay.
Meals on Wheels proved they were right when proved they were worth their weight in gold when they.
As soon as you said Meals on Wheels, now I understand.
Yeah, it was just Lady Boomer works in assisted living, so she caught on quickly. Meals on Wheels proved they were worth their weight in gold when they were unable to deliver food to a woman in her 70s who had got stuck in her bath. The unnamed woman went without food for over a week because she could not climb out of the tub at her home at Loughborough, Leicestershire. Okay, that's almost as hard as Worcestershire. Dawn Jackson from Wiltshire Farms Foods was unable to get a hold of her on her phone to deliver her meals, so became concerned. They contacted police, who broke in and discovered the woman, who was hungry but otherwise fine, and told officers she had been there for 8 days. The police spokesman and others, the police spokesman said, officers managed to get her out, and East Midlands ambulance were called to carry out a medical assessment. Although she was hungry, she is okay. Susie Leeson, franchise owner for the Wiltshire Farm Foods, said, "We couldn't get in touch with her over the phone, which was unusual. One of our customer care assistants, Dawn Jackson, was becoming increasingly worried about her and was ringing every day. In the end, she asked one of our drivers, Lenny, to go around and make sure she was okay. He found a pile of letters and decided to call the police. They went round, broke in, and found her. The police officer told us she had managed to keep warm with an electric fire." What? She managed to keep warm with an electric fire when she was stuck in a bathtub? Maybe she had a space heater in there. I think that's what they meant. Sometimes translations don't always work. Anyway, if Lenny hadn't gone around, she might still be stuck there. No, she might be dead if he never found her. So yeah, good thing these people. That's great that this woman who delivers meals to the lady actually figured it out. Yeah, they mean space heater. Yeah, I'm assuming that. I'm like, but she kept warm with a space heater in her bathroom near a bathtub full of water. Okay, electric fire is British for space heater. Thank you. I see. I figured that out. But thank you, everybody, because just the sound of it at first was like, wait a minute, an electric fire. All right. Anyway, our drivers do try to get to know our customers and look out for them where they can. I'm really pleased with how Lenny and Dawn went out of their way here. The woman is now recovering in the hospital. Well, good for these two that had the wherewithal and the thoughtfulness to really care about the people that they deliver food for. I think that's fantastic. But man, stuck in a bathtub for 8 days. I mean, I'm sure you can at least. Well, you wouldn't. I suppose you can get along without food. How long could you get along without food? Well, clearly at least 8 days, and then there's water there, so she get thirsty. But here's the other part that makes you wonder. Okay, she's in the bathtub for 8 days. Did she hold it? Ew. That's a legit question. I mean, she's in a bathtub for 8 days.
But she's got plenty of water to rinse it out.
Rinse it out where? In a bathtub?
If you're not eating, you're not making poop.
You've got the first 2 days you have poop. And where are you going to rinse to? To the little hole in the bathtub?
Yeah, of course you are. If it's hard, you can take it and toss it out.
Change the water. Okay, yeah, Tales of Gore says change the water.
Right.
I just thought of that. I didn't think of that the first time I read this story. Oh, good God. All right, let's get the hell out of that story because I'm just grossed out. 8 days. 8 damn days. All right, here's some ingenuity. And Andre the Giant, where do you think he went? What? Andre the Giant, where do you think I don't know where Andre, what? Okay, I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is a young man who, let's see. I would say ingenuity might be a term for this, or maybe thinking outside the box might be a term for this. Man allegedly scratches car at dealership so his father would buy it for him. Hear this out. A 22-year-old man was recently accused of scratching a BMW sedan at a dealership in Jiangxi City for a very bizarre reason. So his father would be forced to buy it for him according to the you break it, you buy it principle. The suspect, identified as 22-year-old Ji Mobing, reportedly visited the BMW dealership on November 25th and expressed an interest in buying a dark blue sedan. Staff later told police that Ji acted normally and actually seemed really excited, telling one salesman that his father had promised to buy him a nice car as a reward for getting his driver's license. Unfortunately, things took a turn for the worse after Ji called his father to tell him what car he wanted. It's unclear what Ji Mobing's father told him during the short phone conversation. Probably like, okay. When my son got his license, turned 16. Stuff out. There we go. When my son got his license and he turned 16, and let's just say that my son at 16 would have gone out to look at cars thinking, yes, mom and dad are going to buy him a car as a reward for getting his license on the first try or whatever. Now, if my son had called me and said, Dad, I'm at the dealership. I found the car that I think I want. First of all, I'd have been like, say what? Did we say anything about getting you a car? But no, that wasn't that. Let me just skip over that part, because the part that he would have had to tell me is that I'm at the BMW dealership and I picked out the car that I want. My reaction would have been, where's my phone? Here's my phone. It'd have been like this. Yeah. What? Okay. Yeah. You're at a car dealership. Oh, good. You're at a car. What? Why are you at a car dealership? Oh, you're at the BMW dealership. Oh, and why are you there? Oh, you found the car that you want us to buy. It's a A BMW. Anyway, let's see here. It's unclear what Mujing's father told him during their short phone conversation, but dealership staff told police that after hanging up his phone, the 22-year-old went into a rage, grabbed a pair of car keys, and proceeded to make a long, deep scratch on the back of the sedan he seemed to like so much before anyone could stop him. A showroom salesman called police immediately after G's reckless gesture, and officers confirmed that he was the perpetrator by checking CCTV camera footage. In his defense, the spoiled youth said that his father had told him he wouldn't buy the BMW sedan for him, so he scratched it so his parents would have no choice but to pay for it. Talk about a spoiled brat. What G failed to factor into the equation was his arrest for purposely damaging the dealership's property. The case is still under investigation, and it's unclear whether G's father eventually bought the car to get his son off the hook. Oh, I doubt it. I'm sorry. He's like a little kid asking for a gift from his parents. He believed if he damaged the car, his father would buy it for him. The local police officer told Pair Video. Okay, yeah, that's not bright. Oh, I didn't even put that back on. That's okay. We'll move on. All right, last couple articles, and then we're out of here. Apparently, according to the Center for Disease Control, schools aren't doing enough to teach kids about nutrition. Gee, really? A new report suggests that urban school districts in the United States lag behind their counterparts in other parts of the country in food and nutrition education. Now, why? Okay, let me. A news report suggests that urban school districts in the United States lag behind their counterparts in other parts of the country in food and nutrition education. Well, it's not just that, but anyway, while a majority of U.S. schools offer curriculum on the benefits of healthy eating and dietary guidelines, the percentage of urban classrooms in which these subjects are taught is significantly lower, according to the 2018 School Health Profiles report released this month by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Well, that's that's the school board's job, whatever. For example, just over 60% of schools in Boston, like I said that, Boston. I said Boston. I didn't say Boston. I said Boston. And just over half the schools in Oakland, California, report that they teach children the benefits of healthy eating. Okay, they need to then let them fix that. Just tell them. Anyway, nationally, the median percentage of schools offering instruction in these subjects is 94%. For city school districts, this figure drops to 88%. Wait a minute. If it's okay, so 94% to 88%, so 6% difference. Why? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, not enough people in these communities advocate for their children and say, enough. We need to help our children eat healthier and live better lives. Vel Scott, an activist and educator on diet and nutrition in Cleveland, told UPI. We're seeing more and more of our kids being diagnosed with diabetes and obesity, and food is a catalyst that can change a neighborhood and change a community. However, it seems not enough students are getting this message, or they just ignore it, or they just don't pay attention in school. Who knows? Even in the districts where the importance of healthy food is listed as part of the curriculum, far too little classroom time, perhaps as little as 5 hours per academic year, is devoted to the issue. Well, what are they? I don't understand this article. I mean, okay, sure, they should teach you healthy eating. Maybe if they just, well, how about if parents teach that? You know, because kids, they just want burgers and pizza. You know what they also don't teach in schools that they need to teach? Financial literacy. You know, they need to teach a class on paying taxes and credit and how money works. That's what they need to teach. I think every school in America should teach financial literacy, and they didn't teach that when I was a kid. I wish they would have. I'd have been, you'd be better off faster learning it in school, at least learning something. But it's not an education problem. It's also culture. It can be. It sure can be. Good morning, Joys of Sorrow. By the way, I'm glad you're here. And Green Badger Outdoors. People I haven't seen yet. Don Hayes, I said hello earlier, I think. And okay, I got everybody. It's not just. I'm sure they teach it somewhere. In fact, it says here 94% of schools do, and 88% of city districts do. So maybe it's just they kind of just choose to do what they're going to do, and the rest, there's too much article left. I'm not going to read the rest of this one, but I thought it's a weird thing. It's like, well, okay, fine. You found this out that not all schools teach it. Find the proper class that they would teach it in, and then have, suggest they teach it. I can't even think of what class. And I know we talked about this in school when I was a kid. That was the food pyramid thing. Someone mentioned food pyramid. But I don't even remember what class you learned it in. I don't remember if it was a science class or if it was they don't really have a practical living class. Maybe that's something they should add to school curriculums. Practical living, and that includes financial literacy. That includes learning about nutrition. That includes learning about 5 keys to a healthy life. Exercise, nutrition, stress management, sleep, and hydration. That's our thing at UPS. But okay, so add it to curriculums of schools, and that's got to be district by district, because you can't have a national. There's no national curriculum that you have to have. That's got school district to school district needs to decide what they're going to do with their kids. So I don't know. That's a dumb article. I don't even know why I read it. Anyway, and if that I pulled this article up just for our Canadian friends, because there's a problem in a particular Canadian town. And I know there's probably a loud noise in the background. That's our garbage disposal going. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Anyway, there's a Canadian town that has a unique problem. And I don't know if any of my Canadian friends in the chat happen to know about this town, but let's we'll talk about it here in a second. There's a Canadian city with a toxic name, and it's searching for a new identity. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it turns out that naming a city after a toxic substance may also be toxic towards tourism and business endeavors. The city of Asbestos in Quebec, Canada, announced on Wednesday that it will change its moniker because the negative connotation hinders its ability to develop economic relationships abroad, the city said in a news release. The city initially grew from the development of an asbestos mine around a large deposit of the substance discovered there in 1897. For decades, the town thrived on asbestos mining and product manufacturing. Asbestos is a naturally occurring but highly toxic substance that has been banned in Canada since 2018. Only since 2018? Wow. Hey, Laura, didn't we ban asbestos a long time ago? Like years and years ago. It just got banned in Canada in 2018. Anyway, when inhaled or ingested, asbestos fibers can become trapped in the body and may eventually cause genetic damage to the body's cells. Exposure may cause mesothelioma, a rare and aggressive form of cancer. The city will begin a selection process to choose a new name. which it says will be transparent and inclusive of citizens, as citizens are ambassadors of a municipality and a representative of its vitality. It was obvious that the public would be involved in the process and the choice of a new name, said Mayor of Asbestos, Hughes Greenmond. The new name will be announced in 2020 at an event open to the city's residents. Well, here's what we can do. Chat. I would like you to, in the chat, for those of you here, this is a participation event. Hang on a second here. This is a participation event. Let's come up with new names for the city of Asbestos. I will start. I think they should change the name to Diabetes. Diabetes Canada. Oh, the EPA has no general ban on the use of asbestos. However, asbestos was one of the first hazardous air pollutants regulated under the Section 112 of the Clean Air Act of 1970. Okay, thank you, Mr. Scott. I did not know that. I just know that when I was in the housing business or whatever, we always had to have an inspection that including an asbestos check for any house built, I think, before 1974, something like that. And City of Anthrax. Yeah, there's a good one. It's penicillin. That's a good one. Yes, come up with names for the city. Oh, Cancer City. Yeah, let's come up with names for the city of asbestos. And maybe I'll even maybe we'll even send some letters or emails to them. But anyway, yeah, we always have to home inspections always had to include an asbestos check for houses built before a certain time, and the material is not used at all in our state. So maybe that's what I'm thinking. In some states, you can't use it at all. For example, the second house we owned, we were going to remove the siding, and we were going to replace the siding on our house. And when they came out to do the siding, we had this asbestos based siding that it would cost like almost as much to replace the siding to have the old siding removed, because they had to have this hazmat team come out and remove the siding. You could not remove the siding without this special type of team. So yeah, it's because it's just nasty stuff, right? It's just nasty stuff. Aidsville. Oh, Viagra, Auschwitz, Canada. Oh my gosh. Yes. Please keep coming with new names for the city of asbestos. That's hilarious. All right. And that's bad. All right. And I am down to my last story of the day. And if you have pets, kind of like when you have to, it costs more to deal with asbestos than to tear a building down and build a new one. Yeah, it is. But even if you tear down a building with asbestos, you have to have special, special crews come out and remove the asbestos before you tear the building down too. You can't just destroy an old building that way. It's kind of crazy. Okay, our last story. If you have pets, you kind of have to be careful what you teach them, because sometimes if you teach a dog to go warm up your soup for you, you got to pay attention when you're not at home. Okay, now here's the point. Apparently, a dog started a kitchen fire by turning on the microwave. Firefighters in Britain said a kitchen fire was caused by a family dog that somehow turned on the microwave. The Essex County Fire and Rescue Service said firefighters responded Monday to a small fire at a Stanford Lee Hope home. Firefighters discovered that the fire had started in the kitchen when the owner's dog, a husky, started the microwave, causing a package of bread rolls inside to burn and catch fire. The homeowner was not present at the time, but at the time of the fire, but alerted authorities when he noticed the smoke on the security cameras connected to his phone app. Firefighters said the dog was not injured. Clearly, this is a very strange incident involving the man's dog, but it still could have been more serious, said Jeff Wheel, a watch manager at Corrington Fire Station. When we arrived, the kitchen was filled with smoke. Firefighters ensured that the damage did not spread beyond the kitchen area, but it demonstrates that microwaves shouldn't be used to store food when they aren't in use. And don't teach your dog to use the microwave. Just saying. Our advice is to always keep your microwave clean and free of clutter or food and any packaging. Animals or children can turn them on more easily than you might think, so please don't run the risk. Well, thankfully, our microwave is above our stove, and neither of our dogs can reach that high because, you know what? And our dogs are stupid. That helps too. Okay. Oh, we've come up with new names. So all right. So we have, let's see. Let's go through some of these names. We've already read some of them. Penicillin, Quebec. That's pretty good. The city of Anthrax, Cancer City, Aidsville, Viagra, Auschwitz. Oops. Okay. Okay, Canada. Let's see. Trump, Canada. Oh, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Al Qaeda, Canada. Wait a minute. What? No Canadian lives in Canada. What does that mean? Are we still all right? I thought you were saying he pisses on the soup to warm it up there for a second. Okay, no, the dog turned on the microwave. So there you go. All right, now let's finish off. We'll just check out what's trending on Twitter, and then we'll get the heck out of Dodge, because that's what we do on the Morning Night Live. Even though this is not officially the Morning Night Live, it is Saturday Night Live, which doesn't always happen, but occasionally it does. It's especially when I have to work on Saturday morning. So we already talked about Nikki Haley, but we looked that up already. Let's check out what's trending on Twitter real quick. See if there's anything that people are talking about that people are going to be talking about for the rest of the day. And you'll be seeing videos about tomorrow. Now, we always check out the top story on Twitter Trends, which ends up at the top. And today that is the House Judiciary Committee releases report laying out constitutional grounds for impeachment. Now, this report, let's see here. The House Judiciary Committee releases. Now, how can they even have a report? They've not had a single witness in the Judiciary Committee. And oh my gosh. By the way, you know what's happening? See, apparently there's a House rule that the minority party, meaning the Republicans in this case, there's a requirement in the House that the minority party is not allowed, but required to have at least one hearing on something like this. And they are insisting that it happens. But anyway, here it is. House Judiciary Committee released a report laying out the constitutional grounds for impeachment. That's funny because they base it on these witnesses. The Judiciary Committee's draft report lays out the impeachment process and the constitutional case for and history of impeachment amid the ongoing inquiry. Oh, I see. They're talking about what the constitutional grounds would be. And amid the ongoing inquiry into Ukraine and President Trump, the committee is expected to vote on articles of impeachment as early as next week. On Friday, the White House let lapse a deadline to participate in further hearings in the Democratic-led House. Now, that is BS. Okay? There's no such thing as a deadline. Okay? Now, Jerry Nadler tried to make a deadline for this. But you know what? I think I say they just go ahead and go forth with it. Just go ahead and do it. And then send it to the Senate and let the Senate have the trial. And then, let's see, the Democrats will no longer be in charge. And it'll be a completely different type of hearing. But here it is. You know that the reason they're doing this, and I may not have mentioned this yesterday, I didn't talk about it a whole lot, but you know what's happening tomorrow, even though they've decided to schedule a hearing tomorrow. Tomorrow, the IG report comes out on the FBI investigations into Trump. And Tuesday, Tuesday, the Senate hearings on that report will begin. And I think that's why Nancy Pelosi had to get out on TV on Friday or whatever day it was and say, she's telling the committee to go ahead and file the articles of impeachment. Excuse me. They're terrified what's going to happen with this other investigation, because probably there's a good chance it's going to show that they did some shady shit. Okay, either the FBI did, some members of Congress, Adam Schiff, right? So there you go. The report, if you want to see the report, I'm going to link it in the chat here. You can read this thing by yourself. Constitutional grounds for impeachment. That's interesting. So anyway, I don't think it's specific to President Trump. Oh no, they have summary of principal conclusions. Forward by Mr. Nadler. I'm just going to read the forward, but I'm not going to read this whole thing. This is how many pages? Doesn't say. I can't see the 52 pages long. I'm not going to read this right now, but this is a forward by Mr. Nadler. I am pleased to make available a report prepared by the majority staff addressing constitutional grounds for presidential impeachment. The staff of the Committee on the Judiciary first produced a report addressing this topic in 1974 during the impeachment inquiry into President Richard M. Nixon, and the report was updated by the majority and minority staff in 1998 during the impeachment inquiry of President William Jefferson Clinton. Over the past several decades, however, legal scholars and historians have undertaken a substantial study of the subject. The early reports remain useful points of reference, but no longer reflect the best available learning on questions related to presidential impeachment. What? Further, they do not address several issues of constitutional law with particular relevance to the ongoing impeachment inquiry respecting President Donald J. Trump. For that reason, a majority of the staff of the committee have prepared this report for the use of the Committee of the Judiciary. Well, isn't that special? So they let's see, their subtitles, summary of principal conclusions, the purpose of impeachment, impeachable offenses, lesson from British and early American history, treason and bribery. Remember how they tried to change the narrative from quid pro quo, and then they switched it to bribery, then extortion, because they had a focus group to find out what the American people understood better. And bribery was the number one choice in the focus group. Good for them. Abuse and betrayal. Abuse, betrayal, and corruption. Yeah, this abuse of power is the funny one too, right? The abuse of power, because whatever. Anyway, you can read yourself the links in the chat right now. There it is. We're going to skip this for now. All right, back into Twitter trends, and then we're going to get out of Dodge. So number one trending on Twitter right now, I don't know if you remember Brother Nature. Brother Nature's the dude who he's this guy. I don't know if it's on YouTube or whatever. He's online, and he feeds like wild animals, like he feeds the deer in his yard and whatnot. Well, and Canella. The Canella is the deer that he feeds the most often. He names all the deer that come to his yard that he feeds. Well, apparently this dude got beat up in Miami, and Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Um, and he's trending number one on Twitter because he got beat up, and the dude that beat him up decided that he was, you know, put it out on Twitter and put it on social media, not knowing who he beat up. And then all these people started recognizing this guy. It's that this is Brother Nature, this guy who's a completely harmless dude, and the guy got beat, just got the snot kicked out of him. In fact, here it is. Here's the video. You can't hear it, but this. In fact, I'm just. He's kicking the guy. This guy, and then he starts flexing on Twitter, and now everybody's after this dude. Everybody's after this dude. So anyway, so now people all over Twitter are just livid because this guy's a completely harmless dude. I'm just laughing because the top of thing here. Oh, where'd it go? Hotep Jesus had something on here that said, just don't let Sean King start a fundraiser for him, because then the money will come up short. But so now there's all kinds of memes of deer doing rampages through places. Just don't let Canelo see Canelo when she saw Brother Nature got jumped. Anyway, up by Irish Rose. Have a good day. So Canelo's trending Brother Nature's trending number one. Baylor's trending number two. The Baylor's at Oklahoma for the Big 12 championship. So those are both trending. I'm not going to go. We're not going to talk about that today. Number three, Jalen Hurts. I don't know who Jalen Hurts is. Okay. This is if Georgia loses and OU wins, Jalen Hurts could become the first quarterback to play in 4 straight college football playoffs. Okay, he's a player at Oklahoma. It's a college. You know what? A lot of trending stuff today will be about college football. Let's just put that in perspective, because it's a college football game day, and these are the championships in several conferences. So we'll probably watch the Ohio State-Wisconsin game today in this part of the country, which should have been the Ohio State-Minnesota game. Ugh, it hurts so bad. Some Manchester Derby, Man City versus Man United. So that's the big soccer match over in Man United fans, after beating Tottenham and Man City within 3 days. Yeah, Tottenham. We're in a bit of mourning for Tottenham. My daughter is a Tottenham fan, and she was felt kind of bad that they lost. Rashford, who knows what that is? Anything that we care about? Oh, Marcus Rashford in the Man City, Man United game. I'm going to skip that. CD Lamb, that has to do with NCAA football. Give the damn ball to CC Lamb. There he goes right there. Let's just expand this. Something about Wonder Woman. Let's see. Action sequence outside the Trump Hotel. I'm sure it wasn't Trump in 84. Oh, wait. Oh, I see. Oh, a trailer coming out. See it first. Live streamed here. Wonder Woman 84. Interesting. Is this with what's her name that did the last Wonder Woman movie? Let's see here. Let's see. I know you can't hear it, but and why is this trending? I have no idea. Steve Trevor's back in the back. Wonder Woman 84. Wonder Woman 84. So is there a Wonder Woman movie in 84, or is this a new Wonder Woman movie that's coming out? No, it's ready for a trailer. Okay. She's riding the lightning. Okay, that was pretty badass. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Okay, so anyway, there's a new Wonder Woman trailer coming out tomorrow. It look Gal Gadot. Thank you. I couldn't remember her name. Gal Gadot. So this is like the preview to the trailer. This is the trailer for the trailer. That's what it is. All right. All right, let me go back here. Sean King is trending. Oh no. Oh, maybe that's why Hotep Jesus tweeted about it. Oh, here it is. Don't let Sean King start a fundraiser for Brother Nature because the pot's going to come up short. Of course. Let's see. Hope Sean King find them and they jump him too. Apparently, Sean King has decided to. Okay, here's why. What's this man's name? He's trying to find the dude that beat up Brother Nature. Sean King out here trying to the equalizer, the people who beat up Brother Nature, just so he can make people forget he stole fundraising money. Sean King is not a popular person anymore. Not that he ever was, but anyway, Sean King thinks he's John Wick. Oh, Canela fighting Sean King over the missing GoFundMe money. He's setting up a GoFundMe for the dude. Oh my gosh, Sean King is the new Liam Neeson. Sean King, we will find these guys who jump Brother Nature. Twitter, what's this guy saying? Okay, they're saying if you don't sit your old punk ass pistol chin grip something ass down. All right, so Sean King is inserting himself into the Brother Nature beatdown. And I don't think people are too excited about it. What else is trending? Saturday thoughts. Hey, let's do a Saturday thought. Here we go. Okay, I'm back. Okay. When this whole Biden thing came up, okay, the whole Ukraine thing with President Trump, and he mentioned the fact that Hunter Biden was part of that company in Ukraine, and Joe Biden, they were, the whole investigation thing, right? I said this is going to bite Biden in the ass more than it's going to hurt Trump, right? And so they got this whole impeachment inquiry thing going on, but it's going to hurt Trump. Apparently, I know you can't hear my report. Okay, so this is a story that's saying that that trip is getting scrutiny not for who he went to see, but who he brought with him. He brought Hunter Biden and his business partner with him. And 5 days later, they get this big deal out of China, like $1.5 billion invested through them. You can't, that's too much of a coincidence. Sorry, it just is. So anyway, and what is this? This is set. All right. And here it is. Festive headband season has returned. So there's the doggo with the little festive headband. I keep cutting out. Yeah, I figured that out. Looks like it's back on. I think it'll be okay. I'm wired. It's a wired connection. How can this be going in and out? Anyway, let's get out of this. Let's finish the last couple ones. Kenneth Murray. Who is Kenneth Murray? Oh, Pearl Harbor's trending. I skipped Pearl Harbor. We talked about it earlier, but again, it is Pearl Harbor Day. Let's get a few sentiments here. The White House put this up on National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. We solemnly reflect on the tragic events of December 7th, 1941, and honor those who perished while defending our nation. Now, here's, let me just do this, because anytime the president or the White House tweets something, there are people who are so hate-filled that they feel like it's time to dunk on something, even as solemn as this particular sentiment. So let's click on this and see how many people are just straight up asswipes, okay? And we'll just count how quickly that happens. Now, okay, now here's one. Oh, dude. This is from yesterday. 6 Saudi nationals have been arrested in connection with the Pensacola Naval Base attack. 3 of them were filming the attack. This looks and smells like a terrorist attack. Okay. Remember how the U.S. deep state was involved with and then covered up the Saudi terrorist World Trade Center attack? We need to be suspicious of the criminal deep state for potential involvement in the Saudi shooting of 4 U.S. military personnel. We pray for the 4 U.S. military killed by Saudi terrorists, and it's important to reveal that experts agree the U.S. deep state was involved in and then covered up the Saudi 9/11 attack. WTC-7 was the 3rd tower destroyed. Oh, it was okay. This is I don't believe it was a controlled demolition. Good God. Anyway, it's interesting that people are decided to add that to the White House Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day tweet. Okay, there's there might be crackpots on both sides. Hang on a second here. My father was on a Navy ship on its way to Pearl Harbor when it was attacked. He only spoke of it once, telling us he lost so many friends and was the worst day of his life. To all veterans, thank you for defending the United States. You did us proud. We will never forget. So there's a good one. Why be a baron when I can be president? Get ready, Democrats. Okay, there's other people using this for their own purpose. I don't like it that way either. The Trump campaigns gets to log their vitriol and use it against them later. Like Dems loving MS-13. Yeah. Who wrote this tweet? Sounds rather intelligent. Not real Donald Trump. Oh, yeah. Let's use this time to dunk on the president, or even make your other and the other side making stupid statements. How about we focus on the fact that it's the Pearl Harbor Day of Remembrance? That's more important to me. On this day in 1941, the Japanese attacked our nation. Little did they know that our nation was going to rise above like never before. 2,403 were killed and 1,178 others were wounded, not including civilians. We must not forget these heroes and what they stood for. Love all of them. There you go. I'm going to leave it at that for the Pearl Harbor Day. That's more appropriate. And then moving on, where are we at here? Anything else good down here? Sooners, Appalachian State is trending. Why is Kenneth Murray's a football player, but Appalachian State, why is that trending? Students are the best I've seen in group of 5. They are here in the stadium an hour before kickoff. App State, if this holds up, App State will be 12-1 with wins at UNC in South Carolina, and its other 10 wins coming by at least 10 points, 9 by 15 plus, including 2 wins against 10-win University of Louisville. They should get a real Cotton Bowl consideration, even if Memphis and Boise State win. That's interesting. I forgot that App State jumped up into the higher football college or the higher championship series. So anyway, let's see. Dylan White and Murray's walk fight preview. There's a fight tonight in the UK. Saturday thoughts, Catter Day, and Boomer Sooner rounds out the Twitter trends for the day. Let's just check out one Catterday trend before we go, because usually there's some good entertainment on the Catterday trend. Okay. I don't know what that is. I want a good, here we go. Peekaboo. We see you, Chris. This speedy cub weighs around 24 pounds now. This is the Cincinnati Zoo. And they have a new cheetah cub that's 24 pounds now. Okay. There's a cat. Happy Catterday, everyone. Make it a day full of possibilities. Okay, and here's a nice cat in a bow tie. Nothing but the finest on Saturday Night Live. App State did beat Michigan a few years ago. App State used to be, when they had Division I, and then they had Division 1A, which is the second tier Division I schools. And Appalachian State used to be just a major powerhouse in that Division 1A division, college football. They were amazing for years. And then now North Dakota State pretty much dominates that classification, so to speak. They've been the national championship, I think, 5 of the last 6 years. Just a monster program. So anyway, we'll finish off with a couple cats. Oh, cat drinking water out of the sink, and I don't get what this is about, but let's see what happens. Maybe there'll be something big happen in this one. Let's just see what happens. Cat drinking water, slow motion, and I don't know why we're watching this, but it's interesting. Slow motion stuff's kind of cool. Okay, that's that. All right, so folks, that's it for today. I gotta be more productive, and although this has been fun, I hope you've enjoyed your day here on the Morning Night Live, or the special edition of Saturday Night Live. And I don't really have anything else to say. So I hope you all have a great weekend. I'll be back here. I broadcast Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button and make sure you click the bell so you get notifications. Also follow me on Twitter. Oh, I don't even have it up there. Where's my... There you go. Now you can find it right here. Twitter, @PDogNight. And that's also me on Minds and Gab and Venmo. If you want to do donations to Venmo, we do that too. And then don't forget too that if you want to make donations or do super chats on future shows, you can do that in the Streamlabs link in the description down below. It also shows up in the chat entry every once in a while. So that's it for today. I gotta go. My name is P Dog Night, and I'm out of here. Have a great weekend.